We've been at our location since 1928, and the farm's changed over time through the years. Markets change. We started out mostly being a sustenance farm, providing food for the family. Graham worked all farm jobs to make payments to the bank to pay for the farm. Over time, in 1955, my grandpa started growing strawberries to sell to the public. They'd always grown some for barter, and that business continued to grow. Once again, he was working an off-farm job as he built and developed that. Customer base was still people who were canning and preserving. We added more crops. The focus was U-pick, and the customer was someone who was coming in to pick a large quantity of fresh fruit for canning. And so we really saw that transition in the 80s and 90s. Now we have a lot of interest in U-pick. It's not people who are necessarily picking a lot to can and preserve, but it's people who are looking to bring their kids out to the farm, show them where food comes from. The focus on the presentation of the fruit is still important, using new techniques in order to stay relevant to the customer, and that involves new learning experiences.
Another big shift has been sustainability. So do you mind talking about your sustainability practice?
Absolutely, I'd be happy to talk about that. And my goal is, how can we continue to maintain quality and yield and efficiency while also not overusing any of the agri-technology products that we have. We have 95 acres roughly of land. 12 acres of that is in wild space.
Right.
Okay, we're able to do that because we're able to efficiently use the acres that we have. We no longer use any insecticides in strawberry production.
Wow.
We've cut down our we no longer use insecticides to control Japanese beetles and muscadines. Our bee populations are extremely healthy. We get really good pollination, but also as we can improve our growing techniques and find different ways to accomplish some of the same goals, we're able to get other benefits on the back end.
So farming is a year-round job. There's no end to it. There's no breaks, no holidays. You're lucky if you can get away for 2 to 3 days a year. And a lot of people forget that, especially on the consumer side. So during the off season, when you're not actively selling fresh produce, what are you doing to prepare for the next season?
Yeah, well, you have to remember, we have a lot of perennial plants, and so they're growing all year round.
Right.
And even when the shoot is dormant in the winter, so the part that's above the ground that has leaves on it, goes dormant, the leaves fall off.
Right.
The roots are still growing and developing. And we use the winter time to do all sorts of things. Number one, pruning. Shaping the shoot so that it can be most productive for next year. And then also mulching. This is when we do a lot of our mulching in the wintertime. Mulching and pruning are big wintertime jobs that take up a lot of our field labor. Don't be intimidated.
No.
And start small. I tend to think that I'm not successful at growing something until my third time growing it.
Definitely.
So, you do your research, but the first time you're always going to fail for one reason or another. The second time I grow it, a lot of times I manage to produce it, but not in a profitable manner. It's not until the third time that I grow something until it becomes profitable. So don't expect the first time that you plant something for it to be a home run.
One big thing that I've learned is start very, very small, 4x8 area. Don't be like me when I was 14 and plant a quarter acre of tomatoes. It's a bad idea. You learn from that really quick. And another thing is actually go out to farms and talk to the people that are growing vegetables. So go talk to Ethan at Lineberger. Come talk to me here at the Shield Museum. Learn what we're growing, what varieties we're growing, and how we're doing it. Like, hands-on is the best way, personally. Also, if there's a problem, especially here in the North Carolina Piedmont, it's probably your soil. Because we have highly weathered clay soils that don't drain well, and they don't have necessarily all the nutrients, and the pH is normally very low, and that will impact your ability to grow stuff more than anything. So that would be a good place to start. And
you can always talk to Cooperative Extension.
Oh, yes.
They're a great resource here in Gaston County. just Google Gaston County Cooperative Extension,
Yeah.
give them a call. They're more than happy to help you or connect you with master gardeners
Oh, yes.
to come out and help you with your situation.
So getting into agriculture at first, you know, it was just for fun, just a hobby, just something to get me out of the house and be outside. But as I actually started growing produce, growing it and selling it at farmers markets, I really started developing a lot of important relationships with people. So customers that would come back time after time and tell me, your lettuce this week was really good, or this week it was really bitter. So it's really important to have a relationship with the customer so they can actually help teach the farmer what they're doing well, what they're not doing well, and then also trying to encourage the customer themselves to learn more about agriculture, care more about where their food comes from, and that stems into here at the museum of having students come out on field trips or summer camps or our after school program and actually being hands-on in the garden, getting to, you know, taste stuff straight off the plant or plant a vegetable and see how it grows over a long period of time. Those relationships, you know, tie youth or families back to the farmer, so there's less of this disconnect. Being able to build that relationship, especially on the local level, is very important. I'm sure that you feel that way at Lineberger's, having that meaningful relationship with your customers that's been developed over generations in your case.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely feel like we're a part of the community,
Right.
and that those relationships within the community helps motivate us to do what we do. We farm at Lineberger's Maple Springs Farm on 906 Dallas Stanley Highway, Dallas, North Carolina, and at Iron Station, 2400 Hudson Poultry Road, Iron Station, North Carolina. You can check us out on our website, linebergersfarm.com, or find us on social media. We're open 7 days a week, April through October, on the Dallas Stanley Highway. We also sell seasonally at the Gastonia Farmers Market, the Mount Holly Farmers Market, the Charlotte Regional Farmers Market, and the Piedmont Triad Farmers Market.